I think we're ready to continue to our next speakers. We are going to get fresh insight from Mr. Joaquim Langa. Mr. Joki is the National Director for Land and Territorial Planning at the Ministry of Land and Environment, Mozambique. He has extensive experiences not only in public sector, but also in NGOs as well as private sector. Mr. Zoki will share insights about national territorial development and its challenges, as well as what's been implemented in Mozambique. With no further hesitation, it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Joaquim Langa to the stage. Mr. Joaquim, the stage is all set for you, please.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to, good afternoon. It's a challenging time now after the lunch. So I'm challenged to make you awake. Thank you very much, and I'd like to join the colleagues today and yesterday who was saying very good words to the organizers, to the Japanese government. You want to beat out the co-organizers and the hosted country for these opportunities to have us in here for learning and changing experience. So now I'm going to talk about the National Territorial Development Plan and the challenge we are facing in Mozambique for this important program. Next, please. These are my contents. Next, please. Thank you. Next, please. So Mozambique is located in Southern Africa. It's located in Southern Africa with an area of about 1,800 square kilometers and a population of 29,000 million inhabitants, and is limited by several countries. It has 10 provinces, and it's not well shown this map around in here, but those are Tanzania in the north, Malawi, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Swaziland. They are the boundary countries, and the long coast of Indian Ocean. So these are neighbor countries of the Mozambique. So this is South Africa, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia, and Tanzania, and the Indian Ocean. It has 10 provinces, 4 in the north, region north, 4 another region central, and in the south. And this is the GDP of the country. Next, please. So, according to the hierarchy of the planning hierarchy of the country, likely we have 4 levels, and likely we already have this national plan since the end of last year, and December 2021, and 2 special landscape, one in the region center, which involve 4 provinces, 1 province in total, and another 3 parts of the 3 provinces. And there is a third one, which is the second one in the south of the country, and the third one is in pipeline to be then in the north. And the main and the provincial, for the provincial level, we do have a provincial territorial development plans, which those 2, the national level and provincial levels, are mainly for strategy, rules and guidelines. And the district level, we have the district plan, land use, and at the municipalities, we have the operational of all other superior plans like urbanization plan, detailed plan, and the urban structure. Unfortunately, we don't have yet down in here at the community level, because these are rural countries. It's growing more than, it's bigger than the urban cities in the country. The next, please. So in terms of framework, the Constitution of the Republic, which was revised in 2018, grants citizens the right to live in a balanced environment. So the state defines rules for the development through the spatial planning law, which is in this moment since May under revision. The regulation of spatial plan, it will be also included in the revision process since May. The regulation of resettlement and the process of population resulting from the economic activities. After the war in Mozambique, there are a lot of investors who are interested to exploit our resources, and that we had to establish a regulation, which is already now from 2012, so now is under also a revision. The legal framework also are in the process of revision of the land law. The policy law was from 1997, so is in the process of revision. It was approved by the Parliament last December, and now we are in the long process of consultation of the land law, the new land law in Mozambique. And also the forestry law was approved recently, and the environment sector is being also revised. So I'd like also to say the decree of norms, organization, and functioning of local state power is also one of the part of the legal framework which we are using. And we have also, as was stated this morning by the lady from the UN Habitat, the urban policy. Unfortunately, we don't have yet approved, but we started last year the National Urbanization Forum, which was supported by UN Habitat, World Bank, and it was launched with the aim to building the national urban policy. This year, multi-sectorial team for the elaboration of the national urban policy is constituted, and the consultation is already happening in the country. Yesterday, it was presented to the cabinet for the updating cabinet of the process, and we expect to have this urban policy ready by the beginning of next year. And next, please. What is the national policy? Our national directorate, territorial development plan. First of all, I would like to say that in our country, we used to have different ministries. Yesterday was also referred that the ministries are working like a silos. And in Mozambique, National Directorate of Land was in the Ministry of Agriculture, and Territorial Planning was in the Ministry of Environment. This government, we started in 2020 up to next year, they decided to make all in one ministry in the same, which is Ministry of Land and Environment. So now we have got this National Directorate of Land and Territorial Development in the same institution. So that makes sense and will help a lot on the implementation of all the strategies on land and also in the territorial planning. Because in the other times, we are just giving another department, applying lands and without any consideration of the territorial planning. So this National Territorial Development Plan is mainly a guidance instrument and defines sets of principles that should guide the elaboration of territorial planning instruments. And the government takes the initiative to prepare this, and was approved by the Parliament, as I said, last December. It's very recent. Next, please. Even though this national has instrument strategic guidance, it defines mainly the protected some areas due to the different characteristics on the long extension of the country. We do have protected areas, areas of natural risks, areas occupied by the infrastructures. Next, please. And that one, okay, and that one is mainly related to protected areas. And those protected areas, we can consider the national parks, which we have here in the north, and that one in the north of the province, also Cabo Delgado. We have the Gorongosa National Park. I think people heard about that one, which earned some prizes from National Geographic. And we have also a long transboundary which is linking South Africa and Zimbabwe and Mozambique in the south, which is linking Kruger Park and our provinces, which is linked with the Kruger in South Africa, transboundary project. And we have also another ones in the small scale along the country. We have also national reserves, special reserves, partial reserves, game parks, environment, and marine reserves along all the coast. We have mainly here in Inhambane province, a very great national reserve, marine project, and also here in Cabo Delgado. This area of Cabo Delgado is the area where we exploit oil and gas, which will develop the country, or there is opportunity for the country to develop under these great resources very near to Tanzania, and there are nowadays good projects implementing this process. We do have also key biodiversity areas here and along the valleys of the main river, Zambezi River, which is an international one, and also in the south, and ecological corridors due to those main reserves which we have along the country. Next, please. And risk areas, we have, due to those long coasts along the Ocean Indian, we are facing serious problems of climate change. We do have drought areas, which are mainly in the south, which involve 2-3 south of the central part and the north part of the one province, and 3 zones, near another one here in Tete province in the middle. Those are really serious areas with very high drought risk. And we have floods also within those international rivers. We have the Limpopo, which was flooded in 2000, the major floods we have in the country, in Mozambique in the year 2000. But every single year we are having floods areas along those big rivers coming from other countries, the international rivers, in the south, which is Limpopo, and the Zambezi in the center, and another one in Nampula. Every single year during the rainy season, we expect floods. And we do also have seismic hazard zones, which are on the platform of the Rift Valley tectonic, which include those small areas along this the country, which involve also Malawi, and the Rift Valley plateau, which is affecting our country with seismics. Next, please. In terms of infrastructures, yes, we do have corridors because we are linking due to the ports and harbors, we are linked with the interland. We do have a corridor here in the south of Mozambique, which is 2 corridors, the Maputo, which is linking to South Africa, and the Limpopo, which is also linking to Zimbabwe. It's a railway and the roads facilities. In the north, we have also the Beira corridor in the center, the Beira corridor, which is linking the port to the interland countries, Zimbabwe up to Congo. And also we do have Nacala is recent, due to the main minerals, coals exploitation in here. They are exporting through this harbor with the deep sea water ports in Nacala province. And we do have also a large power producer here in Tete province, one of the provinces, which is the biggest power, the largest power producers in Southern Africa. So it's supplying electricity to Mozambique and also the neighbor countries like Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Malawi. They are now in pipeline projects also to expand the electricity to other countries. Next, please. So our main constraints to implement our national plan mainly it's very recently, and we have more than 11 strategic activities to implement, but mainly are institutional issues which are affecting our implementation of the plan, lack of technical human resource at provincial level or even district level, at local level, some lack of space because the country is still growing and we have new districts and new municipalities without proper infrastructure and even staff and equipment. So consequently, we are facing a weak supervision of the implementation of the plans which are being produced in the country. So the challenge also, we need to strengthen those institutional roles, strengthen by training actions, by oversight and the inspection of the materials, the plans already approved and the need of equipment for that, technical assistance to the governments at the local level and the other authorities in the field, and also acquisition for the May. So mainly a lack of means for better improvement. Our implementation plans of the strategic plans are the main issues, the main challenge. The next, please. In the context of strengthening, the next, please, next slide. In the context of raising awareness among the communities, we are doing some programs of advocacy, and we are inviting and involving civil society organizations, and we are doing training of trainees from central level to province levels to make people aware of the strategic plan and also to disseminate those all instruments. And we are trying to involve, as I said in the beginning, because we don't having any, in terms of instruments, any special plans for the community level. So we develop brochures and we develop materials that we are going to have trainings for trainees at the province level, and then the provincial staff members will go down to districts and to communities to organize and to develop the chain, making them main spokespersons of implementing spatial plan. And also we are involving the parliament, because when the national plan was submitted to the parliament, they were completely involved, the members of the parliament, and they move up to the whole province to see and to check if this was correctly disseminated to communities. So we are also trying to make training specific materials and training for our leaders at the provincial levels and the district levels. So we also have to monitor the implementation of the action plan of the national plan and the preparation of special plannings. As I said, we have got only 2, and the third one is already in pipeline. And the preparation of the country's planning report, which is one of the mandates of this action plan of the National Territorial Development Plan. And we still have to operationalization of the institution. We have to strengthen these special plans. And operationalization and follow-up of action main decisions that we have sometimes taken nationally and internationally to implement and to improve. Like this conference is good for us because we can have a chance to get more experience, knowledge from other countries, and that we will have to try to adapt to our conditions. I think that's all. Now, next, please. There are only some samples of plans, special plans that we have made. This one is a land district, which was finished last year in one province in the center, and that one is an urban structure in the same district, was made by consultancies and with the supervision of the government. Next, please. And also general land use plan and some examples of detailed plans for those areas. And next, please. And the last one, there are some samples of materials which we have been saying that we want to have people participatory planning process at the local level, at community level, to force them to be engaged first and make them awareness, and then in future they can monitor those plans. We are using those techniques of basic planning techniques, materials, and local materials, and people can make at the village level opening roads and with proper instruments. Next, please, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Zoki, for sharing your expertise with us. We can see that in Mozambique, national level spatial planning prioritizes disaster risk adaptability, which is subsequently detailed in provincial and district land use plans, and hopefully the community level will be available soon in the foreseeable future.